At first, this case looked simple. Almost too simple. A quiet American town. A woman who vanished overnight. And a husband police believed was hiding something. But by the time investigators uncovered the truth, they realized this was never a missing person case. It was a carefully written disappearance. And the twist behind it shocked everyone. True crime is filled with mysteries. But once in a while, a case comes along that forces us to ask a terrifying question. What if the victim was never really a victim at all? This is one of those cases. Willow Creek, Oregon. A town with tree-lined streets, early sunsets, and neighbors who waved at each other every morning. Crime was rare. Violence was almost unheard of. It was the kind of place people moved to feel safe. No one imagined it would become the center of one of the most disturbing cases in recent memory. Emily Carter was 29 years old. She worked as a school counselor. She volunteered on weekends. She was described as gentle, intelligent, and dependable. To friends and family, Emily was predictable in the best way. No history of mental illness. No criminal record. No signs of danger. On the outside, she had the life many people wanted. But appearances can lie. Emily had been married to Mark Carter for 4 years. Their relationship wasn't perfect, no marriage is. But there were no public signs of abuse or violence. Still, neighbors remembered arguments. Nothing physical. Just tension. To police, that detail would later become critical. Because when Emily disappeared, all eyes turned to Mark. On an October night in 2016, Emily didn't come home. Mark said he assumed she was working late. When hours passed, he grew worried. By morning, she was still gone. Her car was parked neatly outside the house. Her phone was on the kitchen counter. Her purse sat untouched by the door. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken glass. No blood. It was as if Emily had stepped out of her life and never came back. Police immediately treated the case as suspicious. Statistically, when a married woman disappears, investigators look at the spouse first. Mark was questioned for hours. His answers were calm. Maybe too calm. He didn't cry. He didn't panic. To detectives, his behavior felt wrong. And soon, suspicion hardened into certainty. Local media picked up the story. Headlines began to imply what police couldn't yet prove. A missing woman. A quiet husband. A troubled marriage. Online forums declared Mark guilty within days. Public pressure mounted. Police needed answers. Despite the lack of physical evidence, Mark was arrested. No body. No weapon. No witnesses. Just circumstantial details. And public demand for justice. Mark maintained his innocence. But in the court of public opinion, his fate was already decided. Months passed. Then something strange happened. A junior detective noticed activity on Emily's bank account. Withdrawals. Small amounts. After her disappearance. At first, it was dismissed as a system error. Until one transaction was traced to a gas station. Hundreds of miles away. Security footage changed everything. The woman on screen looked thinner. Wore a hood. Kept her head down. But there was no mistake. Emily Carter was alive. The missing woman. The presumed victim. She had planned everything. Investigators uncovered the truth. Emily had created multiple online identities. Secret email accounts. Years of preparation. She believed disappearing was the only way to escape her life. And she had accepted the possibility that someone else might pay the price. Mark was released after nearly a year in jail. Emily was located living under a new name in another state. No charges were filed. Legally, she broke no major laws. Morally, the debate continues. So what do you think? Was Emily a victim of fear and desperation? Or the architect of one of the coldest disappearances ever documented? Because sometimes the most dangerous criminal is the one no one suspects.